Hi, I'm Amy Vanderveer with Texas Monthly.
Hi, Amy. Doug Hughes.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today.
Well, thanks for coming in. Why don't you come in and have a seat and let's talk.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me again today. I'm going to go ahead and give you my card.
Thank you.
So how have things been in the Woodlands?
Well, Woodlands is a very different place today than it was 30 years ago or 20 years ago or even 5 years ago for that matter. It's always been a great place to live in terms of the forest and the residential living, but what's new and different really is this expansion of the town center. We created this town center that's a vital area of commerce and amenities not only for the residents, but what we want to do now is try to communicate that to the broader public. I mean, this is a great place to go and come eat. We have a number of restaurants of varying types. We have over 400 shops for people to shop in. We have a great new convention facility associated with a big hotel. And so what we want to do is communicate to the general populace at large in a much more expanded geography that we've got something for you to come and visit here in the Woodlands, and it becomes more of a destination as opposed to merely a service center for the community itself.
Okay, great. Well, I think you've done a great job because before, even just 5 years ago, people would have to come to Houston to go eat at really nice restaurants or shops. So the development has grown quite a bit. What are you doing to help promote that throughout the region? Obviously, the Woodlands knows about it spreading into Houston a little bit, but to promote conventions coming in, for businesses to come in, corporations, families to move, what are you looking to do to promote that? Woodlands?
Well, we haven't done a whole lot formally. A lot of what we've relied on is word of mouth. We've been fortunate to be the recipient of a number of awards from the standpoint of town development, and we've played off of that to some extent. So we've gotten a lot of press, local press, and actually around the country in terms of what we're doing in the Woodlands and how this is a dynamic environment, place to live, and place to do business. So we've benefited from that. We've done some selective advertising in some print publications primarily, and are looking now essentially to, well, how do we do a better job of that? What do we do more in that regard?
Okay, well, great. Well, what I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about what Texas Monthly does and what we have to offer. How familiar are you with our magazine?
I've seen it, and that's about it.
Okay. Are you a reader?
I have read it. I wouldn't call myself a regular reader, but
Okay.
I have read the publication.
Okay. Well, we have been around for. Excuse me while I get out all of my goods and materials. Just want to give you a sample of everything that we have to offer,
Okay.
particularly as you're looking to create kind of a marketing image and campaign to go out and come tell your story. Obviously, Texas Monthly has been around for 34 years. We are a storytelling magazine. The founder and publisher grew up in Dallas and got his law degree and MBA from Wharton and worked in Philadelphia selling for the Philadelphia magazine, and was like, I would love to be able to take this back to Texas and do the same thing. Because of course, I'm sure coming from, I don't know if you're native to Texas or not, but living all over, when you come to Texas, you know that there's a lot of Texas pride, a lot that the state has to offer. We're very proud of what we do as far as culture, economics, all of that stuff. There are still some people that believe we should be our own country. And so with that, we like to say that we're the National Magazine of Texas. And we focus on everything from politics to small towns to farming to business, culturals, arts. And because of that, we have a great editorial magazine that has been up for 29 National Magazine Awards. It has won 9. In fact, this year it's up for the General Excellence Award, which means that it's kind of the best movie Oscar. From front to back, top to bottom, the General Excellence is about how the book reads, looks, feels. So I just want to tell you a little bit about our demographic and why I think the Woodlands might be a great partner for us. You've got a great story to tell. We're a storytelling magazine. And so with that, what I'd like to do is tell you a little bit about, got all my goodies here, some of the ways that we can help build your brand throughout Texas, which is basically what I'm hearing that you'd like the Woodlands to do. We have, obviously, our great covers focus on what is important to Texans. Our cover this month is the Texas Ranger, today's Texas Ranger, no longer the Lone Ranger, and some of the different issues that we come out for publications and custom publications as well. You'll notice that these are the kind of our competitors that we're looking up against. And as we've got Houston circulation, we're audited unlike a lot of other media sources are. And so because of our reach and our demographic, we think it's a great fit. Okay? We have 2.2 million readers a month. So that reaches 1 in 9 adults, and it reaches 1 in 8 head of households. 1 in 4 with a income of $150,000 or greater annually. So we're an educated readership, we're more affluent, we have money to spend, which is ideal for bringing people to come and live to the Woodlands, to bringing people to come and shop, to eat, to kind of spend their time. And the other great thing is we have such great partnerships with our readers that we have this year, last year it was at 87%, this year it's 93%, in response to subscribers who have taken action as a result of something in the magazine. So it really lets you know that what we put together front to back in the cover is something that our readers really want to respond to.
What's the source of that?
The source of that is the MRI study that comes out. We have a great researcher, Robert Davila, that you can go and say, Robert, how many people of our subscribers or readers fit this mark? And so he is dedicated to really giving us the numbers so that we can go out and show to our potential partners and clients what it is that our subscribers are looking at so that they know it's a good fit for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions so far?
One concern that many people have about magazine advertising is that oftentimes there's so many ads, they get kind of lost in the clutter. And so what can we do to alleviate that concern, to make ourselves maybe more different than the average ad in here so that people actually see it and attend to the ad that they're looking at?
Right. Well, actually, that's a great question. We are audited by, excuse me, let me pull out my little pink paper, the Audit Bureau of Circulation. And in order to follow guidelines, it always has to be 60% edit, 40% advertising. So we're never over that. Our editor sits on the board of this organization. This is what is required for any national magazine recognition. And so we do stick by this. So I guess that says that we're always in there for our edit. As far as standing out and making a presence, well, what we're doing is we stand by, what Texas Monthly sells is its editorial. I mean, its editorial is so strong so that it is able to really make an impact. And I'll go ahead and kind of flip through the book so that you're able to see the layout and how it really, we've got national advertisers and spreads, obviously Ford, and as you flip through, you're able to see David Yurman. So as you look and you see the different kind of high-end advertisers that come in, Nordstrom does the spread, you're looking at the kind of the demographics of the people who are going to read the magazine. And so an ad is never lost, even if we go all the way back here, okay, and you've got a third page, black and white. Well, what it's surrounded by is edit, and it's surrounded by the dining guide, which everybody looks at. What's the new, the next, what are people going to read, where do I want to go eat? This is before I ever worked at Texas Monthly, this is what I used to go figure out where the places were to eat in Houston. And not only that, if I was going out of town, I would look at it and see.
Yeah, it's a great feature. In fact, when I have read the magazine, I've clipped this out and kept it in my my dining room or my kitchen little desk as a ready reference for places to go. So it is a good feature.
So as you can see, even the smallest ads you're always surrounded by editorials. So we've got the stories that people subscribe to, and then they always take you back no matter where you are in the book so that your ad is represented. Okay? So that you're able to see that and it still makes the presence. So does that kind of help with your concern about being in the middle of just a bunch of ads?
Yeah, I can see the way it's laid out. It does. Your point is very well taken.
Okay. Well, what I'd like to do now is tell you about some of the creative options that we can do to help customize meeting your needs. It's not just placing in ads. And one of the things I'd like to show you as I listened, did some research, thought about what it was you were looking to do, we have been able to do custom pieces for people and put them in the magazine. So for instance, this is one that we did for a similar community. And what they did is they bought a 4-page unit on a higher stock and then did overruns. And then they took those overruns and put them in the local paper, for instance, as you were mentioning about possibly putting in the Houston Chronicle. So that way they got more bang for their buck. They were able to do a great spread that really stood out because it was a different stock within the magazine, and then also have a brochure to hand out, to send out, to mail out, to put in any kind of presentation.
Well, that's a really intriguing idea. I like the value-added nature of that, and certainly we're looking to be as efficient with our spending as possible, and that would make a lot of sense.
Okay, great. Well, let me show you how it actually laid out in the book. This was our November issue, and of course it was the one with, was great timing for us. Robert Gates had been announced as the new Secretary of Defense. But as you can see, you come through and you're going through, well, then it makes a real statement in the magazine because it is higher quality paper. You're getting in front of the demographic that you want that's going to come and look at having a business here, look at buying a home here, look at shopping or spending money here in retail or restaurant environment. And then we're also, because you would create this, we're able to produce it for you at a relatively inexpensive cost because we just keep it on the press a little bit longer and then present you with the great brochure that you're able to do.
Well, this is really interesting. I mean, in addition to, again, the value-added nature of this, what I like about this is, number one, we've got a lot to communicate, because I mentioned to you earlier, we're really trying to communicate to potential residents of the area, hey, come on in, it's a great place to live. These new developments, we're trying to communicate to businesses, hey, come have your convention, your meeting here, and so forth. And we're trying to communicate to people that, hey, this is a great place to come eat, or come see a show, or so forth. And this allows us the opportunity to communicate a lot of things. And I see how this one community here lists some special events and so forth, which is outstanding too, because I can see some seasonal application there. I also like it because this kind of gets around my earlier concern about, boy, how do you set yourself apart from the other hundreds of advertisers in here?
Exactly.
This gives us a kind of a nice little pull-out section that could be more visible than the standard ad too. So that's very interesting.
Okay, great. Well, let me show you a little bit about what this might be. And I think this is a great way to kind of start your branding campaign, get yourself a brochure, and then as you look to expand, I also wanted to show you, Austin does this, I don't know if it's every month or bi-monthly, every other month. But they list kind of an events that's going on. So as you look to start a branding campaign, of course, you're aware of marketing. It's important to continually make a presence. So if you start with a big bang, people recognize it, they see it. You take pieces of this, place it in throughout the year, and create a series of ads that say, come to the Woodlands. This is what the Woodlands has to offer. So that's just kind of another area that I wanted to highlight for you so that you're able to see as you brand. You might want to make a big statement at first, but then you don't want that to dwindle. You want it to continue to build the brand throughout it. And I think this is a 1/3 vertical page really stands out because, of course, it's always surrounded by edit as well.
Well, I can see how various businesses and merchants might want to participate in this kind of thing too, so some kind of cooperative effort as well on something like this. So that is also interesting. Well, this all sounds pretty good. When I start seeing all how extensive this is, I'm starting to the dollar signs start rolling around. It's got to be pretty expensive. So what are we looking at in terms of cost and all this?
Well, we are not an inexpensive magazine, but we provide you the quality, we provide you the demographics, and we provide you the results that advertising that you're looking to achieve. So let me go ahead and give you the rate card. Okay, so for instance, what you're going to look at is, I'm going to go ahead and show. This would be a 4-page spread. So you do 4 colors. So with that investment, we would be able to give you the 6-time rate. Okay, so that would be $10,000 per ad. So you're probably like $10.50. You're looking at $42,000. Estimation.
Okay.
But with the increase in the stock, it's going to be a little bit more, as well as the overruns. But if you would ever print something like this, you would pay that anyway. Okay. So it would come down to, I think we did 5,000 overruns for this particular client, and it came down to 5 cents each for the overrun.
That's reasonable.
Right. So you're looking at getting the ads in the magazine that's going to make a difference for you. You're looking at getting the production done for you for a brochure that you're able to do. And so you're probably looking at around maybe a $50,000 investment with that.
Okay, realizing that we've got to evaluate this in the context of other opportunities to advertise our message. Where does it stand on a cost per point or cost per 1,000 kind of scenario?
You mean our reach?
Yeah, I mean. Well,
okay,
yeah,
so we've got 300,000 subscribers,
right.
So that you're able to look at that. In the Houston area, we've got 95,000. So, but if you were able to get to the people who were going to be interested in spending money, coming and living, all of that stuff, we have a greater ratio. Cost per thousand. I don't actually know the numbers of what it would be, but a greater reach for our demographics and what it is you're looking to achieve than any other publication in Houston. And I can actually get you those numbers, so let me make a note.
Yeah, that'd be handy, because what I'm really trying to figure out is how, I think this would be pretty effective. I'm just trying to figure out how efficient would it be. I mean,
sure.
I'm better off going a different angle because this would be much more efficient use of my money. So that would be very helpful for me to know.
And Robert Davila, the person, our researcher, he's able to get all that information for me. So I just unfortunately don't have that at the top of my hands, but he does have information that I'd be happy to follow up with you and get that information. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that sounds really good.
Okay.
I think you've got obviously a very high quality magazine, and I think I love the idea of the freestanding pullout we can use for other things as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, if you don't have any other questions or objections, any concerns right now, other than obviously I'm going to get you the information you asked about the cost per thousand.
Yeah, I think if I could just have something maybe it would lay that out, and I assume you come back with a more formal proposal at some time that would allow me to be able to not only look at it myself, but also the other members of the board.
Absolutely. So why don't you let me know about what I have to do is I have to go back to Austin and ask for the actual number. So if you have an idea of least amount that you want to be able to print, most amount that you'd be able to print, I can get those numbers. You're able to look at, you know, if we want to do 20,000, it costs this per total if I want to do just 5,000. So do you have figures of how many overruns you would be interested in?
That I'm going to have to give some thought to.
Okay.
I think we're probably in the higher range of what you just mentioned, but let me give some thought to that.
Okay. Okay, great. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get a price point for you, create a proposal. We also have, every time that you run in the magazine, you have a link to your website on our website that is added value. We can also look at doing some added value as well. We do a lot of marketing, and if you want to have an event to kind of launch the Woodlands, you want to have a party for particular people, retail developers that are looking to come into the area, even homeowners, we can look at creating a full turnkey package for you too.
Oh, very interesting. And how well visited is your website, as an example?
I can get you those numbers as well. We have on average about 700,000 visitors a month. And then I think last month for March there was 270,000 unique visitors. So people really look at it for, we list recipes, we have the articles listed that you can read. You can actually also get subscribers get emails sent to them from the letter of the editor to come in. So there's also a great kind of full turnkey marketing system that we can do that's just not ads in Texas Monthly.
I assume we could be able to link to our website.
Absolutely,
as well.
And that's also included just with running one ad for an entire 12 months.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Doug. I really appreciate it. What I'm going to do is go back and get you the information that you're looking for. And what I'll do, just to kind of give you a dollar figure, is I might do about 10,000 quotes for an overrun, just to kind of ballpark it. That way you can kind of look at what the numbers are going to be, do a complete proposal, and get that to you by the end of the week.
Excellent. Well,
okay.
Amy, I appreciate you coming in. You made a great presentation, and look forward to further conversation.
Thanks a lot. I think it's a great fit for the Woodlands.
Here's one of my cards.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.